Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mimbo Joyce. For those of you who are new here, thank you for clicking on my YouTube channel. Thank you for deciding to watch this video. And guys, as I always say, I will never get tired of telling you thank you. So today guys, I'm here with a story time. Yeah, I know it's been a minute since the last time I was here sharing with you a story. And the story I'm about to share with you guys is it's about my worst ever accusation. Like literally the worst ever accusation someone have ever accused me. And the reason why I'm saying it's the worst ever accusation that someone has ever accused me is because, like, actually, I will let you be the judge. And I'm sure at the end of this video, you will also agree with me that, Joyce, maybe we don't know you, we don't know what you are capable of doing. Like, literally, we don't know what you are capable of doing. But one thing we are sure is that this was accusation. Like, this was accusation. That guy accused you. Like, you didn't do this. I'm sure you'll also agree with me that the story I'm about to share with you guys happened way long ago, long time ago. Not really long time ago. It happened some few years ago when I was still in campus. Actually, sometimes I feel it's like damn. So allow me to use a way long time ago, or rather some few years, because I feel like it's have been a while. I don't know where to start with the story actually, but allow me to start by saying that. All my campus life, like literally all my campus life, I used to date from first year to fourth year. Like I used to date, and I happened to be dating a good friend of mine who also happened to be a student in the same school. And I remember it was I remember when we were in second semester. I remember we broke up like some few days to us closing school. We broke up, and I remember we were supposed to break for about 3 to 4 months because it was a long holiday. I think 4 months. Yeah, I think 4 months. So we broke up some few days to us closing school, and we were closing for a long holiday of about 4 months. Allow me to call that boyfriend. I'm sorry if he'll ever watch this. Allow me to call him, but it's just a story anyway. Allow allow me to call him boyfriend A. So we broke up with my boyfriend A some few days to me closing school. And let me tell you guys, like as long as you're a student, like you can't stay a whole day when you're single. You can break up in the morning, and in the not even an evening, in the lunchtime, you are in a very serious relationship. And that was what was happening to me also. Like you each and every single time you have some option A, option B, C, like so many options. So after we broke up with my boyfriend A, obviously he has some options. He has some options, both in school and both at home. And because we were going home, so I knew the next better option will be the guy who is at home. So after we broke up, uh, I had this option B, who we used to communicate just a normal conversation, but he had already shown interest in me. But I was not like sikuwa nimeingia box because I had my boyfriend then. But I knew like this is the time for me to just move on because I obviously I can't stay a single day without with me being being in a relationship, and already we had already made it official with the other party, that with boyfriend A, that me and you, like, we are not a thing, we are no longer a thing. So after we broke up, I went home, and as usual, I contacted. Actually, he's the one who contacted me. He contacted me. Oh, mlifunga shule, and I was there. We closed school, and actually we closed for about 4 months. It's our long holiday, and he was so happy. And he was like, "Can we meet?" He used to say that, but most of the time I used to turn him down because I was a I was an honest girlfriend, and I didn't want to mess up things. When I was dating one person, I didn't want to mix up anything. So I used to turn it down. But this time around, when he asked me out, I was like, when do you want me to come? Like, when do you want me to come? Where do you want us to meet? And I remember he said, can we just meet for a coffee? And obviously, he can't say for a dinner the first time, but it turned out to be coffee, lunch, dinner. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I just sit down and think of how I used to behave back then. And I was like, oh my goodness, was I even not? Like, I think I was just a big kid. And I think that's what's happening to many of our students, to many of our sisters, our younger sisters and brothers at school who are still in campus. That aside. So after he called me, I went, and since that point, I was now in a new relationship, like a new serious relationship. So I remember after we started dating this guy, he was so serious. Like, he was a working class, and I was just a student who was, and I was used to dating a student. And when you are dating a student, like there is this simple life, like you really just do everything so simple, simple, simple. And now I've met a person who is a working class, and like our thinking capacity is totally different. He's thinking of having a wife, and me, I am thinking of I don't want to be single, and I'm just having fun, and I love you. Actually, I even don't know if by then I knew what the term love meant, because I like my love was just all over. My love was just all over. I think I didn't know what the meaning of the word love. So after we started dating with this other guy, he was totally different from my boyfriend A, because first of all he was working, a working class, and what he was looking for is for a wife. And for me, I'm just a second year student who is looking for nothing, like totally nothing. I'm looking for nothing. I just want to be happy. And that's all. So after we started dating, I remember, like within the span, the long holiday was only for 4 months. Like within the span of those 4 months, actually even on the span of 4 months, within the span of the first 2 months, like he had literally introduced to his brothers. I remember his three brothers, and he also used to tell me that he has a sister, but a sister used to live where. So like we used to talk with her, but like over the phone, but we've never met. But he literally introduced to me to his three brothers, and to his mother. He only had mother. He didn't have father. He had already introduced me to his mother, and I was like, for me it wasn't a big deal, like because I'm not thinking about marriage. Obviously, I was not thinking about marriage, and for him introducing me to all those things, I was like, okay, I'm cool. Like literally nothing was coming in my head. Like, what you are getting yourself into. I didn't know that. Like it didn't get in my mind. And so after we had dated for about 2 months, now the third month, I remember him telling me, now that you have already met my parents, you have already met like my entire family, I want you to take me to your mom's place. And I was like, come again? Like, have I had you well? Where do you want me to introduce you to? Like, where do you want me to take you to? And I remember there was this fine day. We traveled, like literally traveled, but we were just traveling, together with his friends. We went all the me by then my parents used to live in Nakuru. So we traveled all the way from Nairobi to Nakuru. And I remember, but we were many of us in a car. I think they were there were many of us. And I remember him telling me that, do you want us to go to your parents? And I was like, where do you want to meet my parents? Like, are you crazy? Like, no, I don't want you to meet my parents, because to me, I was just having fun. Like, I was just having fun. And to me, I was not seeing a husband in him. Like, literally, I was sorry to say, but I was not seeing a husband in him. I was just seeing a very cool guy who's ready to spend all his money on me, who's ready to, hey, that was me. So the first time when he went to Nakuru and he asked me if I want us to go and say hi to mom, to me it was just like a kind of joke. And I remember turning him down, but in a polite way, saying that no, 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 I don't want us to go, because you are so many of us, like you together with your friends and blah 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 thing. Plus, like, no, I'm not ready, like for us to, like, if we need to go to our parents, let's plan something that is kind of respectable. And he was like, it's okay. It's okay. Actually, I need us to go. But the first time I'm going to present myself to your parents. I need them to respect me too. So he said it's okay. So the next time he was raising the same topic, it was the third month of us dating. Like the third month of us dating. Okay, I had already known all his family, except for his sister, who we used to communicate, but I never met her like one on one. But I saw her, all the pictures of her, many pictures of her. So I usually knew her, but we never met like one on one. But the mom and the other three brothers we had already met. But to me it was just like it's okay, it's normal. Like it's normal. That's what people do. Like you've already met my sister, and is that a big deal? Like to me it wasn't a big deal, but to him it was a big deal, and I didn't know. Like literally, I didn't know. So the third month of us dating, he requested me. Actually, he started like acting like so serious. Like, you know what, babes, I want us to take this to the next level. I want you like to be my wife. And I was like, wait a minute. You know, by then I have never figured myself as a wife, like as someone's wife. Literally, I have never figured. By then, I had never figured myself like as anything else apart from me as a student, schooling, and making my parents happy with my good grades. Like I had never figured myself anything different from that. And so when he said that the second time, and this not only once, like he was so consistent. He was so like each and every time hata tungekosana na yeye because he want to go and meet my parents, and I was like no, or why do you want to meet my parents? Like he wanted to make things official, and I was like it's too early for this. So I said no. And I remember things continued, the same thing continued, me turning him down, me turning him down, me turning him down, until it reached when the 4 months were elapsed, like the 4 months were over, and I had to go back to school. Hmm. So after I went back to school, we were still in good terms. I made a mistake. He one day came, not a bad mistake, actually. I didn't know it was a mistake. I made a mistake of telling him that you can come visit me anytime you feel like you want to visit me at school. Hey, oh my goodness. I think I told that to the wrong guy. That guy could literally come show up anytime. Tell me why that guy could travel all the way from Nairobi to wherever I was schooling, a distance of almost 4 to 5 hours, and he had prepared from some few weeks down the line. He had prepared that he's coming to visit me, and he has not informed me. Like, tell me why you can just show up and tell me, where are you? Like, sijui I am in this sijui supermarket, can you just come? Tell me why he was doing that. That was the first red flag that I didn't know it was a red flag. So after after I went back to school, he started visiting me like so randomly, and it reached a point whereby I was like, it's okay, I am cool with it because I'm not cheating anyway, so you can just show up anytime you feel like you want to visit me. Though I was not so happy because obviously any girl who is schooling will tell you that any man, like a man just visiting you randomly, even if it's your brother or your boyfriend, or not even if your husband, like literally even if it's your husband, as long as you are schooling in campus, you need to say like just inform us, like just inform your girlfriend, because there are some things that you might mean things there that maybe you wouldn't love them. So that's what used to happen to me. But by then I was kinda, it's okay, because I don't want to lose this guy, because honestly, obviously he was so kind, and honestly he was showing that he was really serious with what was happening with us. But that's not what I wanted. Obviously, that's not what I wanted. I don't know what I wanted literally, because I wanted him to be serious, but at the same time I wanted him to stop talking about meeting my parents and making anything official, because yes, you're my boyfriend and I love you so much, and but that's that, like, full stop. You're my boyfriend, I love you so much, and full stop. About me and you being husband and wife, I don't know. Like literally, I don't know. I have so many things to mind about right now. So that was me. And I remember after I went back to school and he was just visiting anytime randomly when he feels it. And he came to a point whereby he was so comfortable. Like he trusted me. He knew like literally this is kinda this girl is kinda trustworthy. So it reached a point whereby he asked me when I was schooling, I used to do a small business. I used to to sell some mutumba clothes. I remember I was just selling trousers. And after he discovered that I was doing a business, he was so happy and he was like, oh, you know what, babe, I want to support you. I want to support you and I want to set up a business for you. And because you have already shown interest on selling some clothes, and it's really booming here because you know students with clothes. My goodness. So I want to support you. You do this, just look for a shop whereby we can rent, and then I will furnish for you. I'll put for you a boutique, and in this boutique, we are going to mix both the new clothes and the mutush clothes because I told him that I don't want to concentrate with the new clothes because mutush clothes is they are kind of unique, and that's what so many students love. It was I'm cool. Just look for a shop, and then I will do the funding. Guys, I look for a shop. I talked with the owner of the shop, and I remember it was only 7K. It was 7K, and you're supposed to pay for us due 4 months, 6 to 4 months active for you to get that. So you're supposed to pay for some number of months when you are paying your deposit, like the first time you're paying. And he was, I'm cool. Like, I'm cool. So when everything was set, and I have already booked the shop, I have told the owner of the shop that let me just make some few calls here and there, and then I'm going to pay you because I know my boyfriend. Like I know my boyfriend B, and he's not going to let me down. So after I made some few calls, I remember he told me that let us meet tomorrow. That was the only first time he have ever told me that he's coming, and he came. Like that was the only single time he came to my school where I was schooling when I was aware, like without him ambushing me. That was the only single time. So I remember he came the following day and we talked, and he changed the story. He told me that. I remember he came on on a Thursday. I think it was on a Thursday because it was not on a Friday. I remember he came on a Thursday and he slept, and the following day I came on a Thursday, and in his head he had planned that the following day we are going to spend the whole day together. The following day was on Friday. We are going to spend the whole day together, and on Saturday we are going to go home, and he's going to meet my parents. And actually, he had already told this to his good friend, who happened also to be a common friend. Had already shared with him, and they had all the plans. And hawakuwa ameniambia, like literally, they have not told me. Like, tell me how any person who is straight upstairs has prepared to go meet my parents, and I'm not aware of that. Like, how can that happen? So after he came, he sweet talked me. He told me, you know what? I'm planning, sijui, before I put up a business, I put up a business for you, and you know, obviously, I'm not going to fail you. Okay, actually, I trusted he's not going to fail me. You know, immediately we go back to from your parents, and I was like, when you are we going? When whose parents? Like. So he told me that immediately we come back from meeting our parents, he's going to put up that business, and we are going to buy the stock and everything together. Like on that Sunday, because we were supposed to go home on Saturday, and go home on Saturday, and then still come back. And mind you, we are going to meet my parents, yet my parents know that I'm a student, a second year student, who have never introduced a boyfriend to them, who to them is just a small baby. By then my mom knew me like just a small lady, I'm like a small daughter. My, tell me how am I going to face my parents telling them, meet my husband. Like literally, meet my husband. I also didn't know that he was my husband. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know he was my husband. Like, I was his wife, according to him, but he was not my husband. Like, he was just a guy I loved. I really loved. And so obviously I said no. I said no. On Saturday, we are going nowhere with you. On Saturday, we are not going home. And if that's what it will cost for you to put me a business, like, then I don't want. I don't want your business. Actually, I was still surviving. I was paying my school fees. I was paying my whatever rent. I was doing everything. I don't want a business. I don't want a business because all this while I've been telling you that you're not going. We are not going anytime soon to our parents until when I complete, like I graduate. That's the last time. That's the time that maybe we can plan on going to to meet our parents. But according to him, he had so many insecurities. He was like, oh, as long as a student campus students, I can't date you seriously if I have not met you. So I said no. And I remember the same Friday, which we were supposed to sleep. He didn't even spend the entire Friday there. On Friday, actually very early in the morning, after our disagreement, our sweet disagreement, it was not used to, it did used to be like a commotion wise. It was like he was kind of trying to soothe me, and I was like just refusing in a nice way, like in a really nice way, because as much as I was saying no, I really respected this guy because he was way older than me, and like he was so matured and I also felt like I was just like a small kid, and so I really respected this guy. So after our disagreement, he decided to go home very early in the morning the next Friday. And from that day, obviously I didn't call him, I just texted him, ulifika poa, and then he said yeah, and that was the last communication. We stayed for about without even conversing, like without even a single hi. We stayed for about a period of, was it 3 months? A period of 3 months, like a, a period, yeah, a period of almost 3 months. Because I remember you were almost closing school. We are almost closing school again, but this time we're not closing like for a long holiday. So I remember because you were doing our exams. I remember one day I was just, it was on Saturday, it was on a weekend. It was on Saturday. One Saturday, I saw an incoming call. And when I checked, because obviously I knew his number often, despite the fact that I had already deleted his number, I saw a call. And it was from my boyfriend B. And I received. And he was, hello, babe. Okay, am I still your babe? But I played cool. Hello, yeah, I'm fine. And he was like, uko wapi, where are you? And I was like, obviously, I'm in school. And he was like, yeah, I know you are in school, but where are you specifically? And I was like, okay, not again. Like, not again. You can't tell me that you are in school compound, yet you didn't tell me, and we are not even dating. Hmm. And that's exactly what he had done. He was in, he had come to visit me without my notice, and we were not dating. And actually, I had already moved on. Actually, was it moving on or moving back? Honestly, I even don't know what to say. I had already moved on. So he called me and I was like, no, this guy must be nuts. He told me, where are you? I want to meet you like right now, right now, right. And I was like, okay, why do you want to meet me like right now, right now? And he insisted, he really insisted. But as for me, because I had already moved on, I really didn't want to go back there. And I said, no, no. He said, oh, there is something I really want to tell you. There is something I want to personally tell you, like one on one. And I was like, no, whatever you have to say, just say through the phone. If not that, like, just keep it to yourself. And then he calmed down and, hey, oh my goodness. Do you know what he told me? He told me that, you know what, babe, you know my ex, because I knew his ex. I knew his ex because he was the person who he was dating. Immediately, immediately we started dating with him. It was when he stopped dating the ex now. So I knew his ex. I knew his ex, and his ex, and the ex also knew me. And actually, there is one day she abused me. Like we had, okay, that's a story for another day. So he told me that, Auntie, you know what? Auntie, you know my ex is pregnant. And I was like, okay, yeah. Because, why are you telling me this? And I was like, is that why you want to see me because your ex is pregnant? And he was like, no, my ex is pregnant. Do you know so and so my ex? And I was like, yeah, I know her. She's pregnant and she's carrying my baby. And I was like, okay, because I had no bad blood by then. I was like, okay, congratulations. It was, no, you're so evil. Actually, the reason why she's pregnant is because of you. Guys, tell me how I am responsible for his girlfriend pregnancy. Like, the last time I checked, I was a female. The last time I checked, I can't make anyone pregnant. But here comes the guy telling me that, oh, you are the reason why that girl is pregnant because last time, when after you broke up with me, I was so stressed. And so I moved in with her. I don't know where the pregnancy came. And all this is because of you. And guys, did I make that lady pregnant? How is it that I am the one to be blamed? How is it that I am the one to be blamed for him making someone else pregnant? And actually, I didn't know. I didn't tell him to move in with the lady. I, how am I responsible for your pregnancy? Oh my goodness, I can't make your girl pregnant. And I didn't do what? I didn't make her pregnant. You make her pregnant. How comes I am the one to be blamed? Ah, oh my goodness. Up to date, guys. Literally up to date. That is the worst ever accusation that someone has ever accused me. And the reason why I feel like it's the worst ever accusation, because I respected that guy so much. I really respected that guy so much. And he was kind of matured enough to understand that it was not making any sense. Like, he was literally not making any sense by trying to put it on me that I'm the one who is responsible for the pregnancy of his own pregnant. Guys, oh my goodness. I think I'm going to end up my story there, guys. And I want you to judge. Like, just tell me. Do you really think that I played any single part in making the ex-girlfriend pregnant? Like, just comment in the comment section and let me know. And the funny bit of it is that immediately after immediately after the ex got pregnant, they married and they lived happily ever after. Oh my goodness. But until date, that still remains the worst ever accusation that someone ever accused me. Because I can do many things, but one thing I know, I can't make nobody pregnant. So guys, that's the end of my story today. Continue subscribing, continue liking, continue commenting, and until next time, guys, bye bye. Peace out.